No one is coming to save your career. Not your salon, not your mentor, not the next class you take. We have this idea in our industry that something or someone is going to come along and be the thing that changes everything. Maybe it's a specific post, maybe it's just the one class, maybe it's the title or the chair that you want. And are those things helpful? Absolutely. But the thing that changes it is actually the action and the momentum that you build once you've chosen to be in those spaces. The fact of the matter is, you can put two stylists in the exact same room with the same education, with the same opportunities, and get two completely different kinds of stylists. Why? A lot of times it's because one of them is waiting and the other one is building, waiting for circumstances to be perfect, waiting for when they actually have a clientele, waiting to actually practice it day of. I think it was actually Michael Jordan that used to say that the real game was actually during his practice. And then once game time came, it was just part of the flow because the repetition that goes into everything that you do is so important in what you're building. You don't build overnight, you build over time. I have a theory about this. I don't think it's been about how long you've been doing hair. I actually think it's about what you've done in the time that you've been doing hair. Does experience matter? Absolutely. Does repetition matter? Totally. You will hear me say it all of the time because that's how we learn. But there's actually been a lot of research done on high performers across different industries. And what they found is that time alone does not equal skill. And I feel like a lot of veteran stylists can get stuck in that. You can do something for 20 or 30 years and not actually be significantly better than someone with far less time. The difference really lies in how that time is used. And this is called deliberate practice, which is basically just a structured, intentional way of building skill. It's a fancy way of basically saying you don't get better by just doing something over and over again. You actually get better by doing it with intention, by getting feedback, and by actually working on what's not working. By that logic, not all reps are equal. And this is where I see the biggest gap because there is a really big difference between a newer stylist who has been immersed in mentorship, consistently in structured education, and building skill on top of skill. And let's say a stylist who's been doing hair for 30 to 35 years, whose last class was maybe in beauty school, who watches YouTube videos here and there and doesn't actually get feedback, just assumes they know it because they've watched it. And trust me, I use that example because I have seen it. Crutching on the amount of time you've been doing hair in either way is the most detrimental thing that you could do to your career. Because I've seen stylists with less than 5 years of experience run circles around veteran stylists. From formulation, application, understanding of haircut structure, bone structure, skin tone, and not because they're more talented, not because they were favored, not because they're special, but because they put themselves in the right spaces and then they took the action once they got there. The follow through is everything. If the information is given to you and you choose to just let it sit there, that's where it stays and that's where you stay. Because being in the room is not the same thing as utilizing the room. Buying the class is not the same thing as applying what you've learned. Being around great stylists does not automatically make you one. Will it help support? Absolutely. Does it put you in a better situation? Absolutely. Does it feel almost impossible to not want to grow and push yourself in those kinds of environments? Yes, it's very uncomfortable. But this is not about natural talent and it's not about time. It's actually a lot more simple than that. It's as simple as just doing what you say you want to do. That's it. If you say you want to get better at formulation, then practice formulation. Hey, I do formulation lives every Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. on TikTok Live to practice just that. Make sure you're reviewing your work, breaking it down, reflecting, and utilizing the tools in real time with clients. Maybe ask yourself, why didn't something work? Or why did it work? If you say you want to grow, then stop waiting for the perfect moment and start building momentum where you are. Circumstances will never be ideal. So if you wait for them to be ideal, you're going to be waiting a long time and things will never happen. I personally used to run marathons pretty regularly and I used to train a lot. These days, I run a little bit more for fun, and I live in the greater Seattle area. Let me tell you, one of the biggest things that I consistently heard was like, oh, but it rains. Like, do you just wait for the nice days to rain? Absolutely not. If I waited for it to not rain in Seattle to run, I would never run and I would have never been a runner. So if you want to do it, do it. It might feel uncomfortable. It might feel unideal. You may not be able to go as far as you think you want to go, but you know what? You still went further than if you didn't. Because the fact of the matter is, you're the only person that can unstuck yourself, and you're the only one that can save your career. There's not going to be one class that's going to do it for you. There's not going to be one mentor that's going to get it done for you. Not one perfect salon space, because everywhere you go, there you are. Can the right environments support you, sharpen you? Yes, but they cannot replace the action you have to take to continue to build momentum and move forward. So if you found yourself waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, the right situation, circumstances to be better, you to have that little bit more money, stop. Do it now. This is that time. No one is here to save your career, and that's exactly why it's yours to build as limitless as you want it to be. What's one thing that you've been holding off to start on and you can't wait to finally start working on after listening to this podcast? Drop it down in the comments, and I'll see you next time when we have another conversation that's not about a blow dryer.